Locating this man who's been missing since yesterday. 56-year-old Rory Rupp was reported missing by Southeast Human Services. He was last seen before 4 p.m. yesterday in the 2600 block of 9th Avenue South in Fargo. Contact Fargo PD with any information. Listen to this. An accused hitman for a Mexican drug cartel is back in North Dakota to face federal charges. This nearly 11 years after he was apprehended in Tijuana. Juan C.S. Rocha is charged with conspiracy to commit murder for a continuing criminal enterprise. Authorities allege he is a top lieutenant for the Felix cartel that smuggled cocaine, marijuana, and other drugs into the U.S. for years. That cartel was a longtime competitor of the Sinaloa cartel led by notorious drug kingpin El Chapo. Police say C.S. Rocha once boasted to authorities he killed up to 30 people a month during the gang's prime in Tijuana. Also new this morning, gunfire in downtown Duluth sends 2 people to the hospital. It happened around 8 last night, a few blocks north of the popular Canal Park area where roads are blocked off. Police investigate now. A family who lives in the area told reporters that they heard many gunshots in a rapid succession. We have not yet heard how badly the victims are hurt. 6:52 this morning. Time now for a look at our storm team forecast. Good morning, Lisa Green.
Good morning. Starting off today, some of us with hazy sunshine, other folks experiencing a little fog to start off the day this morning down in the southern end of the valley. Not dense, but you can see our visibility down a bit with the wind starting to pick up on our Dakota Magic Casino live view. Here's a look at our temperatures. 48 degrees in Fargo and Grand Forks, Thief River Falls 47, Bemidji's at 49, Detroit Lake's a little warmer at 55. So a morning where you may want to grab the jacket, and an afternoon where you may want to ditch it once we start to warm things up. We're looking at clear skies for the moment, but we are starting to see some of those high clouds move in and eventually more take over as this next system approaches. So out at the bus stop this morning, again, it might be a little cool. The kids might want that extra layer. And then heading into the afternoon, more clouds, temperatures rising into some upper 70s to even near 80 for a few of us, most of us in the 70s today. And that wind picks up, steady in the teens out of the southeast, but gusts will be in the 20s and 30s. It's late tonight and through the rest of the week that we have those chances for rain and thunder. And of course, we'll be right here tracking all of that for you on Valley News Live and the VNL weather app.
All right, a warm but windy Wednesday, and we'll keep our eye to the sky for the rest of the remainder of the week. Thank you, Lisa. 6:53 now. Dozens of Fargo-based National Guardsmen are heading overseas, and there's a send-off ceremony planned for them today. 155 soldiers from the 191st Military Police will be honored at 2 this afternoon at the Fargo Civic Center. They'll be deploying on a year-long mission in support of Operation Spartan Shield. That's in the Middle East. And veterans from around the Red River Valley are waking up at home this morning after a whirlwind tour of Washington, D.C. They were welcomed home late yesterday at the Grand Forks Airport with fanfare fit for local heroes. A concert band played patriotic music while family and even complete strangers waved flags and thanked the veterans for their service. It was a touching scene that brought out many emotions.
I mean, I had tears in my eyes, and I still do. It's pretty amazing. Well, I can't believe this. I just can't believe it. None of us knew any of this was going to happen.
Aw, they returned to the Red River Valley on the same day they visited the Vietnam and Korean War memorials. For many, it was a solemn experience as they looked at the names of people they knew couldn't make it back home.
Very sad feelings right now. I don't know. I don't know. Really, really sad. All these names on here.
Some veterans say that some of the memorials were difficult to get through, but they're incredibly grateful for the opportunity to go. If you'd like to donate to help more veterans go on an honor flight, find this coverage on our VNL News app. A 42-year-old Crookston man is dead after a head-on crash in Grand Forks County, and charges are pending against the driver who hit him. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says Tyson Horton of Fertile, Minnesota, crossed the center line on County Road 7 near Thompson yesterday morning and hit an oncoming pickup, killing that driver. Troopers have not yet released the name of the victim. The prosecution has rested its case against 23-year-old Arthur Colley, who's on trial for murder, and the defense is on pace to start calling witnesses this morning. Colley is accused of the brutal attack on 14-year-old Jupiter Paulson last summer in the Party City parking lot in South Fargo. Emotions ran high in the courtroom yesterday as the parents of the victim were called to testify.
She was the heart and soul of so many people. So many people just knew her as the light in the room.
If convicted on the murder charge, Colley could face life in prison without parole. Well, it may sound like a joke, but health experts are saying this is serious. They say someone brought a rabid raccoon into the Maddock, North Dakota bar on September 6th, and anyone who came into contact with the animal's saliva needs to see a doctor and get tested for rabies. The Ada, Minnesota police chief is out of a job and taking to social media to express disappointment on why the city is deciding to let him go. Jody Booing served as the chief for more than a decade, but late last year contracted COVID-19 after coming in close contact with a suspect during a call for service. Since then, he's been fighting to rebuild his health so he could get back to serving his duties, but he says instead he was relieved of his duties altogether.
That was very hard. I did not see that coming. I came to Ada as a police officer in 1998. Raised my family here and dedicated myself to the community.
Now both Booing and the city of Ada have submitted their grievances, and the city has until tomorrow to make a final decision. Fargo Cass Public Health is applying new methods to prevent death. This amid the epidemic of overdoses sweeping the nation. They're partnering with a California company to provide new test strips that allow users to upload positive test results when it comes to fentanyl. That creates a map of what areas are in higher risk of encountering substances, again laced with the deadly drug. Public health officials say it's given them great insight, and one North Dakota man is hopeful that others will be able to be saved how he was.
They Narcaned me 8 times. They stopped after 9. And I got to the ER with 68% oxygen in my brain. I was on life support. Like, my mom was told that, like, if I do make it out of my coma, that I'm going to be a vegetable. Save a life, you know? Like I said, you're not going to stop them, but you might as well prevent them from dying.
Now, Fargo Cass Public Health says they gave out 400 tests during the months of June and July alone. A new Medicare option for seniors will soon be available right here in North Dakota. It's called Next Blue and will be offered through Blue Cross Blue Shield starting in January. The new plan combines original Medicare Parts A and B with drug coverage and other benefits not usually covered, like vision and dental. The expansion will cover most health systems in the state. You can learn more by visiting nextbluend.com. Childcare availability and affordability. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is pitching legislation that would address childcare issues within the state. Burgum says he wants to make services more affordable and more widely available, and he wants to improve childcare quality statewide. The plan would have North Dakota spending up to $80 million in state savings over the next 2 years on expansion of childcare assistance and matching money for businesses that offer their employees childcare. It also includes a childcare tax credit for low to middle income families.
Working families are experiencing a childcare crisis. There are more children than there are slots, is a simple way to put it.
Burgum says the lack of available and affordable childcare for families contributes to workforce shortages that are hamstringing the state's economy, in his opinion. An Italian restaurant in South Fargo is shutting down. A Facebook post says Johnny Carino's is closing its doors. The post does not give a reason for the closure. Queen Elizabeth's coffin has arrived at Buckingham Palace after being flown from Edinburgh, Scotland. Tens of thousands of mourners lined the streets to bid farewell to Her Majesty and cheered as the state hearse passed through the palace gates. The late Queen will lie in state at Westminster Palace later today through Monday. The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Join me and Lisa Green on the CW. Have a happy Wednesday, everybody. Take care.